Howdy folks, this is Resell Niche. My name is Mo, and on this channel we talk about everything to do with reselling, including buying and selling on places like eBay and Amazon and other platforms like that. Let's get into it. I'm going to be talking about 20 items that I bought and sold in the last week of August 2021. Harley Davidson shirt has the city that it's from in Wisconsin. This for about $1, and this sold for $32.08, including tax and shipping. So I sell these, like I said, quite frequently, and happy to see that one go. All right, next up, this is I guess it's kind of like a plush doll. There's a Madame Alexander doll, apple tree. It's themed under the Wizard of Oz, and this sold for $51.48. And I had a lot of these that I purchased from the thrift store, about 6 to 8 of them. And so this is the first one that sold. And I'm probably going to be doing a video about these specific plush toys coming up. So stay tuned for that. Okay, next up. This is a shirt brand that I buy. I find it from time to time. It's a vintage shirt brand. Joel, California is the tag. Polyester shirt from the 70s, disco style shirt. I put $2.99 into this. This sold for $65.04. Sat for a while, but it seems to move pretty fast whenever I find it. The slimmer style shirt, one thing I would note though, is if you sell vintage clothing, especially button-up shirts, button-down shirts, anything like that, make sure you list in there or you write in there that vintage clothing does run a little bit smaller than current sized clothing. I always like to do that, even though it may not help, they may not read it, but you know, it doesn't hurt to write it in there. Next up, I sell a lot of MMA related shirts. This is a similar shirt to one I sold before. Had $1 into this from a lot that I bought last year. MMA Elite Mixed Martial Arts long sleeve shirt sold for $28.98, including tax and shipping. And especially with the weather getting a little bit colder now, these are going to be moving faster as people still want to exercise, but they need something warmer to do with it. This shirt, this vest, sweater vest, I've had for a very, very long time. Not even sure how long, maybe 2 years. It's a Brooks Brothers kind of a tennis golf vest, thick thing, but not very heavy. I had maybe $1 into this from many years ago. Sold for $15.68, and I was frankly happy to see it go. Had it for way, way too long. All right, next up, this is a shirt that I really overpaid for. It's a Reign Spooner San Francisco Giants 2014 World Championship shirt. I paid $25 for this. I want to say over 6 months ago. And it just sat and sat and sat and sat. And I was getting these $20, $30, $40 offers. And then finally I got one that's $54.85. Including tax and shipping, and I just took it. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but I severely overpaid for this shirt, and I just wanted to see it go, and so I recouped a little bit of my money and then some. All right, next up, buy these 12-inch figures if I can, if they're a little bit less run-of-the-mill figure, like not your regular Superman, Spider-Man figures. This one was a Hasbro Civil War Machine Iron Man figure, 12-inch plastic, very light, very thin, made for like toddlers basically. I had $1.99 into this one. This one sold for $26.73 out the door, and it went first class shipping. So all in all, it's a good buy. I buy these whenever I can. And like I said, try not to buy the common figures. Try to buy the ones that you haven't heard of maybe, or if you have to look it up, maybe that's a good sign that it might be a good figure. All right. I sell equipment as well as not just gym clothing, but exercise equipment as well as, you know, the clothing. This I had $2.99 into, and it sold for $16.37. A pair of 1-pound dumbbells, and they were coated. That had that neoprene, I believe it is, coated pink weights. So $16.37 out the door. I'm happy with that. Now, Marmot is a brand that I sell from time to time. It's kind of dropped for me. It used to sell really well a few years back. Now it's kind of a slightly slower moving brand. And this one I had $2.99 into. This shirt sold for $26.82 out the door. This, when I bought this for $10 at the thrift store. I thought that I'd hit a gold mine. Another one that sat for a very, very long time. Poopsie Slime Surprise. It's a purse. It kind of opens up, has bottles of glitter and like makeup on the inside. It sold for $68.17, but I've had this purchased, I shouldn't say purchased, it were bought but not paid for at least 2 or 3 times. So this one finally paid for it. So I'm happy to see it go. I remember when I bought this, the person in the store, there was a lady behind me that kind of, I think she was eyeing it from a distance. And when I put it in my cart, she said, "Oh, wow, that's really good. That's going to sell really, really fast." It didn't. But, you know, if you look online, the going rates for these are pretty good. For whatever reason, mine just sat though. Okay, next up, this is something that I had in my eBay inventory, and then when I went back to my inventory, it was no longer listed. So I relisted it, and it sold immediately. A Hero Escape Battle. This is Battle of All Time, Rise of Valkyrie, 2004 board game. I don't even know what I had to this, maybe $2. This is from a few years back. It sold for $68.40. And it sold really, really fast, actually. Like I said, within a week of me relisting it. So check your inventory. Make sure that everything is listed. I need to go back and go through all of mine again. I try to do it once a year. All right, next up, I buy stuff that has different companies. Like this, for example, is a Monster Energy drink polo shirt. This I bought for 99 cents, and it sold for $29.52, including tax and shipping. Just a Monster black polo shirt. Okay, next up, this is a Boston Celtics t-shirt. Not vintage, but about 10 years old. I think from like 08, 09. Had the big three, as they call them, back in the late 2000s. And I bought this for $1.99, and it sold for $21.39. And anytime I can buy stuff from players that are no longer playing, but they were pretty popular, I'll pick it up. I do pretty well with stuff from like the Yankees and the Red Sox, the Warriors even. Some of their stuff is starting to sell, even though those players are still there. But you know, they're just not as winning championships like they were a few years back. Okay, next up, this is another pewter figure that I've been selling quite a few of in the last some of my videos. I have maybe 50 cents into this, and this one sold for $19.34. It's just a couple of ounces. It's maybe an inch by an inch and a half, something like that. It's a very, very small piece. Okay, next up, this is a jersey that I bought and sold, and it was returned, and I sold it again. A Manchester United soccer jersey. I had, I believe, 99 cents into this. The whole front logo was worn out, and there's nothing, it's kind of just like an outline of what the logo used to be. Sold for $27.94 out the door. So hopefully it stays out the door this time. Now, next up, this is a pair of boots that I got in a lot with a bunch of other stuff. I generally don't really buy many cowboy boots, not because I don't like them, but I just don't really come across them very much. I don't even know what the individual costs for these were, but they sat for a while. These sold for $42.09, and yeah, I was really happy to see these go because these were kind of big and they took up quite a bit of room. All right, next up, this is Blackbeard's Lair Imagine-X playsets. Had 99 cents into this thing, and it sold for $20.51. Not the biggest playset. I think 11 or 12 inches by 11 inches or so. So not one of the bigger ones, but happy to see it go for 20 bucks. All right, next up, this is a piece that I've just released a video on already. Windstone Editions sculpture. It's a wizard holding a figure of dragon staff. I had $15 into this one, and it sold for $283.36. And it's actually, if you look up Windstone Editions, and I'll post the link whichever way it is, so you can check out my video on that. And it's actually kind of a cool story. They have a lot of cool pieces if you look them up. All right, so this next piece is a running sweatshirt. An Asics long sleeve shirt. I had $2.99 into this one from the thrift about 2 months ago. Sold for $49.83. I do really well with anything to do with ASICs. Tank tops, t-shirts, shoes, obviously, and this sweatshirt right here. So if you look up ASICs, it's a great brand, great running brand. Pick up their stuff if you see it. All right, and this is a long sleeve Billabong shirt, surfing skating brand. I had $2.99 into this one also. It sold for $30.19. And this is the type of thing that's selling more for me, especially this month. Was, like I said, with the other shirt that I had earlier in the video, long sleeves t-shirts basically are doing well because it's slightly colder, but not that cold to where you need a jacket on. So you can still go out there and work out with long sleeves on. So that is 20 items that sold for me at the end of August. If you enjoyed that, please check out our other What Sold videos. But until the next one, have a good one. See you. Bye.
Bye.